bond release right now.
He getting,
He just
he's getting, he getting a bond. But the bond didn't come in.
so he's not gonna get released.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the judge gonna do.
And as long as we do, we don't carry him back.
Yeah.
If he's still gonna be in court.
Yeah, he got beat up. He got caught.
Which ones are here just for the release?
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, Judge Ware presiding.
Y'all can have a seat. Thank you. Mr. Burnside. You are Randy Burnside Jr., is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnside, you're charged with unlawful conduct toward a child on 2 separate warrants, 2 counts. You're also charged with infliction of bodily injury upon a child, 2 counts on 2 separate warrants, and you are charged with resisting arrest also. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
You do have a right to a trial by a jury. You got a right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply for the services of the public defender. To qualify for the public defender, you've got to meet the federal guidelines for poverty. There's a $40 application fee to be screened. If you want to apply, you can do so at the clerk of court's office located at Hillcrest Square. You know where that is?
Yes, sir.
I've got a notice of date and time for mandatory court appearances. It's the only copy you're going to receive. You need to keep a copy for your records. You're a defendant in a criminal case. You're required to appear on separate occasions. Lawrence County Courthouse, 100 Hillcrest Square Judicial Center. The dates and times of these appearances cannot be changed for any reason. Your initial appearance in General Sessions Court is June the 22nd, 9 o'clock in the morning, main courtroom in General Sessions Court. And you know where that is?
I know the courthouse is, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You must be present at these appearances. If you fail to appear on these dates and times, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be placed in jail and held until the trial of your case. It's probably going to be necessary for you to appear on other dates. The solicitor's office will notify your attorney when you need to be in court. If you don't have an attorney, you'll have to attend every session of the General Sessions Court until there's a final disposition on all 5 of the charges. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you'll sign at the bottom for me, Mr. Burnside, I'll give you a copy. You've got a right to request a preliminary hearing on these charges. You may be entitled to one. If you choose to request a preliminary hearing, you need to do so within 10 days of this notice that I'm going to give you, or you lose your right to such a hearing. You can request a hearing by completing the lower left-hand section of the notice, return it to the court in person, or mailing it to the address that's on here. I've signed it and dated it. I've got a checklist form here, Mr. Burnside. It's a 2-page form. It's got everything in writing that I've gone over with you as far as your rights are concerned.
Yes, sir.
I need you to sign at the bottom of the 2nd page and initial where I have it highlighted here on this form. And I'll give you a copy. This form, I need for you to sign at the bottom is some information regarding your constitutional rights. You'll just sign indicating that you received a copy. Where you live?
48 Brandi Lane, Great Court, South Carolina, sir.
Are you working, Mr. Burnside?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Adidas, Spartanburg, sir.
Are you on probation or parole at this time?
Yes, sir.
Are you out on bond now for any other offenses?
Yes, sir.
What are they?
Credit card fraud. I got a letter in the mail saying someone expunged, but I don't know if it was that one.
Failure to stop and forgery also? Those are still pending?
I didn't know they were still pending. I thought it was done, but yes, sir. My lawyer told me that was taken care of. I didn't know. Thought it was pending.
All right, anything you want to say?
It's a terrible situation I'm in.
All right, I'll be glad to hear from the victim's advocate.
Thank you, Your Honor. The resisting arrest warrant stems from an incident which occurred on February the 28th. A Lawrence City police officer initiated a lawful traffic stop here in the city limits of Lawrence, and Mr. Burnside exited and ran from the vehicle at that stop. The other 4 warrants were issued after Lawrence Police Department received a call from the Lawrence Hospital regarding 13-month-old twins. Both victims have multiple injuries to the face and head, with one victim having a skull fracture. The co-defendant, Aaliyah Stewart, the mother of the twins, left the children in the care of Mr. Burnside on April the 26th while she went to a doctor's appointment. When she returned, she noticed the injuries, but she left the children with him again in order for her to be able to go out for the evening. She did not call or take them to receive medical care because she was afraid no one would believe the reason Mr. Burnside gave her for the injuries, and she had questioned those reasons herself. The next morning, Ms. Stewart left the children with Mr. Burnside again while she went to pick up her brother. The children were taken to the ER by members of her family after they were made aware of the injuries to the children. Mr. Burnside drove Ms. Stewart to the hospital, but he did not stay. Law enforcement has been trying to locate Mr. Burnside since Friday evening. You saw, according to the public index, he is currently out on a bond totaling $23,500, and the children were placed in emergency protective custody. I talked to 2 DSS workers today. They had that hearing yesterday, and they remained in foster care. Ms. Stewart's bond, she had bond set on her Friday morning for the same charges, and her bond was denied.
All right, thank you, ma'am. The bond for resisting arrest is $1,000 cash or surety. The bond for unlawful conduct toward a child on those 2 warrants is $50,000 on each, cash or surety. The bond for the 2 warrants for infliction of great bodily injury on a child is denied on each warrant. You can have a seat.
Appreciate it, sir.
Mr. Awad?